there! Today we are going to read Chapter 4 of Kitty and the Sky Garden Adventure. You might remember that in the last chapter, a whole group of cats came and made a big ruckus commotion in the beautiful garden. And so the cats and Kitty are left to help clean it up. So that's where we left off. Kitty dusted off her hands. "We must fix this before morning. We can't let Mrs. Lovett wake up and see the garden looking this way." Diggory shook his head. "There's no need to do anything. I know you're only trying to help, but Mrs. Lovett and I always look after this garden by ourselves." Kitty crouched down beside Diggory. Her heart sank as she saw how tired and sad he looked. "Please let us help. I promise we won't stop until the garden looks better again." "We could start by cleaning up the broken flowers and leaves," suggested Pumpkin. Diggory frowned. "Well, all right then. I'll show you where the broom is." He led them to a small brown shed in the corner of the rooftop. Kitty took out a rake, a broom, and some gardening gloves. She swept along the stepping stones while Pixie and Pumpkin picked up the broken flower stems and dropped them into the compost bin. They raced up and down the garden. Kitty's heart thumped. They had to hurry if they were going to finish cleaning up before sunrise. Pixie and Pumpkin began tidying the fallen leaves. Kitty snipped some drooping stems off the rosebush and tied the honeysuckle back onto the trellis. She watered each sunflower as their leaves were drooping. One flower was broken beyond repair, but the others soon seemed much better again. "What shall we do about all these, Kitty?" Pumpkin pointed to a row of smashed flower pots with dirt spilling out the sides. The purple lavender growing in each one had a strong, sweet smell. "We don't have any spare pots, I'm afraid." Diggory shook his head. "We'll have to throw away that lavender." See the broken pots? A determined look shined in Kitty's eyes. "These flowers are much too pretty to lose. We'll just have to find a few pots somewhere." She darted to the metal stairs, calling to Diggory. "Don't worry, we'll be back soon." Pumpkin scampered after Kitty with Pixie close behind. "Where are we going?" Pixie waved her fluffy white tail. "None of the stores will be open, Kitty. We can't buy new flower pots till tomorrow morning." "I know, but that'll be too late." Kitty rubbed her forehead worriedly. "Maybe there's something else we can use. Let's look around and see." She leaped to the roof next door before clambering down a drain pipe. Crossing the road carefully, she stopped beside a row of newly built houses. Kitty spotted a pile of empty paint cans at the top of the builder's rubbish bin. A rubbish bin is just like a garbage can. An idea popped into her head. She took out the paint cans and checked each one. "These are clean and they're just the right size. I think they'll look lovely with flowers inside." "That's a great idea," mewed Pumpkin. Pixie leaped onto the side of the bin. "How about this bucket? And look, here is a pair of red rain boots. Wouldn't they look nice with plants growing in them?" "They'd look wonderful," Kitty beamed. "All kinds of recycled things will work as flower pots." Now that's a clever idea. She gathered up the bucket and the old boots and carried them back to the rooftop. Then she returned to fetch the empty paint cans. Working as fast as she could, Kitty filled each container with soil. And then one by one, she planted the flowers inside them. Here's a picture. Lavender bloomed from the paint cans and yellow tulips sprouted from the old red boots. A silver-winged moth fluttered through the air and rested on a tulip, flexing its delicate wings. Kitty finished sweeping before climbing the trellis to hang the lights back in place. Then she raked the flower bed to get rid of all the paw prints. Pumpkin and Pixie tidied more fallen leaves from the stepping stones. Kitty's heart skipped as she gazed around. They'd finished repairing the garden before sunrise. Pixie and Pumpkin sat on the bench for a rest while Kitty went to find Diggory. The old tortoiseshell cat was sitting beside a stone basin filled with water, gazing at the moon's reflection in the rippled surface. He looked at Kitty mournfully. "I guess sweeping and tidying can't really make up for all the damage that was done." "No, but we replaced the broken pots and replanted all the flowers. Come and see." Kitty nervously led Diggory toward the center of the garden. There he is, looking sad. The recycled flower pots they had chosen were very different from the ones that had been used before. She really hoped the old cat would like them. Diggory followed Kitty around the garden. He listened carefully while she explained about reusing the paint cans on the old red rain boots. Slowly, a warm smile grew on his face and his ears pricked up. So, we hope you like what we've done, said Kitty shyly. We can change things back again if you don't. No, you don't need to do that, Diggory told her. I wouldn't have thought of it myself, but these recycled pots look wonderful. That was all Kitty's idea, Pumpkin said. Kitty brushed dirt off her hands. She couldn't shake the feeling that something wasn't right. The garden didn't feel as magical somehow. The flowers didn't lean toward the center of the garden the way they had before. Diggory tottered toward the garden seat. A gust of wind swirled over the rooftop, rocking the tree behind the bench. Diggory stiffened and peered closely at the long branches. No, he yelled. It's gone. The beautiful wind chime is missing. Kitty gasped, staring at the empty branch. Where had the wind chime gone? Wait, maybe it just fell to the ground. Pixie jumped down from the bench to search. Pumpkin joined her, and they all hunted through the bushes. Kitty climbed the tree to check that the wind chime wasn't hanging on another branch hidden by the leaves. One of those naughty cats must have taken it, said Kitty at last. Maybe we can make a new one by reusing old things like we did with the flower pot, said Pumpkin hopefully. That just won't do, mewed Diggory. It isn't just any old wind chime. Mrs. Lovett made it from seashells that she gathered as a child. All the love and care that went into making the wind chime turned it into something magical. I don't think the garden will grow the same without it. Kitty gazed around the sky garden. The flowers had lost their bright sheen, and the trees rattled in the wind. Even the sunflowers bowed their heads sadly. The magic of the garden had vanished, like a cloud hiding the moon. This is my fault, Pixie's voice trembled. I was the one who told all those careless cats about the garden. I'll use my super hearing to find them, said Kitty. They can't have gone very far. Please be careful, said Diggory. Goodness knows what those wild cats will do next. Don't worry, said Kitty. We've faced tricky adventures before. We'll search the city until we get the wind chime back again. And that is the end of today's chapter. So next time we will be waiting to see if they find the wind chime with the naughty cats and if they can bring it back to the magical garden. It was fun reading with you today. See you next time.